let's say we end the Ben 10-a-thon properly. Now, a while back, I decided to review a bunch of Ben 10 games, starting with Protector of Earth, all the way to the most recent game of the time, the 2017 reboot. Then, just as the marathon was wrapping up, another game just happened to have been announced. It would be known as Ben 10 Power Trip, to be released for modern consoles. Published once again by Outright Games, it would be an open-world adventure in Europe to stop the villainous Hex from world domination. It seems fitting to cover this game, both as a finale to the marathon, and because the reboot ended its run this year. Yeah, a Cartoon Network reboot actually ending. Who would have thought you'd hear those words? What I'm holding in my hand might very well be the last Ben 10 game we get for quite some time, if at all. So, let's take a look and see if it ends on a whimper, or if we get a way big payoff. These alien puns are gonna stop. Story-wise, it's a simple premise. Ben and crew are on vacation in Strudelbeck when they find Hex trying to collect 4 crystals to complete his master plan. Zapping away most of the aliens in the Omnitrix, it's up to Ben to recover his aliens and collect the rest of the crystals before Hex. The main goal of stopping Hex is the main focal point, with details scattered throughout your adventure. Gwen will come in at points for other exposition or to guide you along your quest, but that's as much as you're getting from her. Then there's Kevin 11, who's only here for multiplayer and that's it. He's introduced and then given his cameo check before cashing out. You would think for someone on the front cover and on the disc art, he'd be more important, but nope. Just here. Not even Hex is anything to note about. I understand he's one of the most famous antagonists, but he doesn't do much, save for a couple chases and right before each boss. There's also Lord Decibel, a music-themed villain from the reboot, but he's only for a side quest spanning the game, completely ignorable aside from the first time you meet him. I would rant about not using enough villains, but I'd rather focus on the game's good points. Because, and I can't believe I'm actually going to say this is actually a pretty decent game. I was about ready to dislike Power Trip, but I'll be damned if it isn't a good open world game. The land of Strudelbeck is yours to explore, with 3 major areas. Each area has a line of main quests to be completed to reach the boss, defeat the 3 bosses, and defeat Hex for good to win the game. There's more to it, but we'll get there soon enough. Ben is able to travel on this scooter, but his abilities and fighting skills lie in the 6 aliens you get to control. Heat Blast ignites fires and can double jump, Forearms pushes blocks and smashes specific walls, Accelerate is able to boost his speed and grind on any rails, Diamond Head can form reflective walls and glide on crystals, Raph can sniff out trails and parkour on poles and ledges. Finally, Shock Rock, a reboot exclusive, can grapple on energy points and overload electronics. These are the only 6 you get, unlocked as you explore each area. As you complete quests, you enter the void, wrong void, and go through a tutorial section for each alien to learn their abilities. It may be forced, but to any newcomers it's a welcome addition. Now if only... Combos! There are actual combos! Oh, it's the simple square into triangle combo, the final move depending on your combo length, but it's far better than the last game of push square to win. Each alien also has different qualities. Accelerate hitting fast, and Shock Rock slow but hard hitting, just for a couple examples. Your favorite didn't boil down to just design, but now there's just enough of a difference for a favorite in gameplay too. Which is good, cause you better get used to their moves to get the most out of this game. The map is littered with things to do and secrets to find. You have your main objective, but how and when you get there is up to you. You'll mainly be collecting things for the objectives, but there's also timed races and combat challenges to keep things interesting from time to time. Lord Decibel holds platforming challenges, where aliens are restricted, so you need to maneuver and solve his puzzles to shut his concerts down. It's honestly basic, nothing too taxing, just right for the kiddos who begged their folks for the kiddie version of Grand Theft Auto. Or Batman Arkham City, I don't know your preference. Outside of the main quests are collectibles scattered on the map. Trinkets to find, records to play, anything to keep you busy and your eyes open. You might even find void ruins, small combat challenges to beat enemies, and break the crystal. It nets you rewards like coins to purchase items, bars to boost the stat, and the ever so needed upgrades.
There he is!
This time, all characters share the same levels, one for defense, one for strength, and one for critical strikes. The more you get, the more powerful you become, and you can stack the upgrades any way you wish. It allows more choice for the way you play, which I really welcome. Power Trip is the Dark Souls of Ben 10 games. I'm joking. Okay, maybe not. The coins scattered and earned are for the shop, and you should only focus on the upgrade points and the 3 treasure maps. The maps give you a hint to hidden locations for goodies, and if you're someone who wants to collect everything, you'll definitely need them. Of course, you also have Grandpa Max. When you get to a new segment of the area, a fast travel point will show up. Head to the rest bucket, and he'll take you to any location the rest bucket can go. When you pause the game, each area shows what's been collected and what's yet to be done. But every bit helps. Well, it's about time this game's mood lowered quite a bit. Because obviously, this game ain't perfect. You're given a dodge button, but I swear it's delayed. I would use it right after a combo, and then a second later, it would dodge, leading me to take damage anyway. Maybe it's me, but I just couldn't tell. Okay, picky points over. Now for the points more on a gray matter. First, the enemies. Sure, they look neat, and I give them credit that they at least look different. But every time you go to a new area, it's just palette swaps of the same enemies. Maybe a new design or a new enemy here and there would have helped, but I felt burnt out every time I saw the reincarnation of Johnny's bane of existence. Which also leads to the bosses. That could have been a lot better. The first 3 fights are exactly the same. Beat the enemies to shatter the void ruins, leading to a fight with almost the same moveset. Heck, you're even restricted to the 2 aliens that you use for that area, so you can't even use all of your aliens for the boss fights. Except for the final boss, which admittedly has different attacks, but is basically the exact same fight, just on a grander scale. The bosses are definitely the lowest point of the game for me. And it might be for you too, if you're a hater of puns. Which if you are, you're a hater of this video, and I'm not sorry for that, but I am sorry for the amount of puns this game has in store for you. All of the puns. This is weird to criticize, I realize, and yeah, he's 10, but dear lord, every conversation has at least one pun or quip, and I got sick of them so quick. He's a witty, arrogant hero, sure, but even the Flash would step back and tell this kid it's time to stop. Bosses especially, since every line of dialogue has a pun. Every line! The boss wasn't the giant monster. He was the living joke book for kids. And the rewards, while serviceable for the story, aren't the best final rewards. I looked up what you got, and it boils down to the trophies. I will admit, with some games, getting the Platinum Trophy is the best feeling, like with Spider-Man and Persona 5. But those games at least give you something for completion besides the digital cup. I spent 6.5 hours in my playthrough to finish normally, and apparently the game takes 14 hours to complete. I can commend the game for going the distance in terms of licensed games, but completion is a no-go here when there's barely anything of worth retrieving. And let's finally get to that presentation. I'll give the game credit, it looks much better than the game before, but the best looking Ben 10 game? Close, but not nearly there. Still, the feats attained to this game must be commended. NPCs lighten up the area, the aliens look great, and the game certainly looks colorful like the show. Heck, anywhere you can see is an area you can explore. For a licensed game, especially nowadays, I find that highly commendable. It boils down to preference, and I just like the style of Vilcak's attacks slightly more. But, hey, to each their own. Maybe you find this game better than I do. The music, I'm not as torn on. It's okay, but just fits the mood and nothing more. Each area has a remix of the same overworld theme, and at least each area has its own battle theme. No special boss theme except for the final boss, so that's a bit of a shame. Voice talent do their great jobs, no complaints there. Yeah, that's actually all I got. I would talk about the multiplayer where one player would play as Ben and the other player would go as Kevin, but it's hard to find people to play with in a world that's practically still bricks.
Still bricks.
The world still bricks. It's still bricks! But even then, I was damn impressed at the feats this game was able to accomplish. By other game standards, it's not much, but I can still take a victory every now and then, can't I? I might have had several negative points, but I can easily say this is one of my favorite Ben 10 games. It might even be a contender for my all-time favorite. The fun exploration helps this game immensely, on top of the other good points I made earlier. Even if you're not a fan of the reboot, this is a good open world game for beginners of the genre. Basic in form, but just expansive enough to hold you till the end, even if the end rewards aren't exactly the best to go for. Color me impressed, this game was worth putting the Omnitrix back on for one last time. But, looking back, it's kinda sad to know this is the last Ben 10 game for quite some time. The last thing Ben 10 related for quite some time too. I've been a fan ever since the original series, and thanks to the Ben 10-a-thon, I found some love for other series, like Alien Force. I started watching Ultimate Alien and really loved it. Omnivorous I still have a good time for, and even the reboot, I have to admit, there are some great things about it that I didn't expect. Maybe it's just the inner fan of me that's going to miss Ben 10 for a while. At least until Cartoon Network reboots it again, probably sometime later. Man of Action, thank you so much for creating this beloved franchise, and I do look forward to whatever you have in the future. Oh, that'll work! If you end up wanting to try Power Trip, I actually recommend going for the physical copy. It's $20 compared to the digital copy, which goes for around $40. But hey, that's one more game, right? Unfortunately for me, it's time to put the Ben 10 series to rest. I have a few more videos planned for the next marathon. With that said, I better get back to work. So enjoy the next few videos that come out. Please stay safe out there if you decide to go out. I'll catch you guys later. I have some work to do. Well, thank you so much for watching this review of Ben 10 Power Trip. Like I mentioned before, I do have other videos planned, but I'm going to try and mix them in with other videos too, so we'll see when the next review comes up. In any case, everybody, you know what to do if you want to catch more. Thanks so much for watching, please stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.